All right. Is it working? Does it look good?
Yeah, it is working.
Okay, cool. All right. This is the first YamaTrips live stream on YouTube. Awesome, awesome. So we've been live streaming on Instagram, but we realized that with a better setup, we could explain deeper concepts and show people travel itineraries better when we're on YouTube with expanded features. All right, so let's begin. Today we have 4 items on our agenda. The first one is we're going to be breaking down the local news, the most important local news of the day or of the week, followed by one travel destination that I think is worth people's time to visit, and then one Japanese food that I'll introduce that you can easily find in Japan. And lastly, we'll teach one Japanese phrase that you can learn. Awesome. All right, so the first menu on our agenda is the most important news in Japan. And that is none other than the exchange rate. So we have the US exchange rate. And as you can see this graph, it's been going up for the past 6-7 months now. And we're gonna explain why it's been going up and if it will continue to go up and whether you should exchange your money to yen now or maybe wait. All right, so we got our expert here, Liu.
Yeah.
He did some research and he invests in, what is it, like FX?
Yeah,
you do.
Foreign currency investment, and I have been investing to yen, but currently yen is very weak, so I'm losing a lot of money. And basically, the weak yen is coming from the interest rate. U.S. government set interest rate very high. On the other hand, Japanese government set interest rate almost 0%. So investors all over the world try to buy U.S. dollars in order to get a lot of money. So U.S. dollar is becoming so expensive, and Japanese yen is becoming so weak. So,
what do you think? Do you think the trend will continue?
Yeah, I think the trend will be continued. Basically, the U.S. economy is very strong because they have a lot of unicorn companies, and also the existing IT industry is very strong, like Google, Apple, and Amazon are very strong, and Nvidia is currently very strong, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So one reason why it's being the exchange rate, people are expecting the exchange rate to stop once it hits 160, because the government intervention would eventually occur when it hits 160. And it did. If you look at the 12-month exchange rate, you can see once when it hit 150, it kind of went back down. That's you have the Japanese government intervening. And then when it hit 158, then it's gonna go back up, and then we have another intervention. But however, if you look at the overall trend, it continues to creep up, and there's a reason behind that. It's something called NISA, N-I-S-A. So Japan, people don't really invest in, like, if you look at the amount of cash that people hold in Japan, it's about 70% of your wealth, compared to, I think, US, where people hold only about 30% of their wealth in cash. So in Japan, it's cash heavy. So there's no investment, right? There's not enough money in the market to generate bigger economy, right? Because money generates money. And when you're just saving your money up and you just keep it as cash, right? You're not spending them, then it shuts down the economy. So what the Japanese government did was they created something called NISA.
Yeah.
Yeah, so NISA is where it's this very safe. It's very safe investment that anyone can start, and what was it? It's the it's like it's tax free. Right?
Yeah, it's
That's the
tax-free.
biggest benefit, right?
Yeah, even though people get revenue from NISA, they don't have to pay tax.
Yeah.
It is big advantage.
Yeah. And it's tax free, so everyone's investing in Japan. Everyone's investing. However, because NISA has to be safe, right? NISA has to be this this investment opportunity where it cannot crash, right? What that means is, I think let's zoom out. Sorry, my camera. I'm still figuring out this camera angles. All right, there we go. Sorry. Okay, because it has to be very safe, right? It has to be like basically it has to be like an index, right? A mix of different various stocks, the best stocks in the world, a good mix of it. So even though NISA contains Japanese stocks, a lot of it is actually U.S. stocks. And because it's a lot of U.S. stocks, what it means is that the locals, the Japanese yen, are turning to dollars, right? Making yen even weaker. Yeah, so this you just have the Japanese government trying to solve one issue, and it's turning into another. So it's like people think it's a failed, it's like a failed, what do you call it? It's a fail basically.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't really it boosts the market in one metric, but then hurts it hurts the country in another metric. Yeah. And it's gonna continue because NISA is such a great deal. More and more people are realizing that they should start investing in NISA. And once you start investing in NISA, because it's so safe, right? It's like you take maybe 10% of your paycheck and that just goes straight into NISA, right? And because it's protected by the government, we trust the government to make sure that this NISA, this stock don't crash, this index doesn't crash. Right, so you are expecting the NISA to expand going forward, and that means more yen will be turned into dollar, further strengthening dollar versus yen.
Yeah, U.S. economic situation is very strong. So Japanese people realize if they buy stock, U.S. stock, they can get money. So more and more people trying to buy U.S. stock. That means Japanese yen is going out from Japan.
Yeah.
Then Japanese currency becoming weaker and weaker.
Exactly.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, that's nobody can predict the market, but we think maybe a year from now it'll be more than 160, maybe 170 even. Yeah, and there are a lot of experts who also believe that once it crack 160, there's no turning back, because it just means the market doesn't want to. The market wants yen to. Basically, the market wants to invest more into NISA, and there's nothing the government can do unless they change unless they try to turn NISA into something else. But because NISA is this investment opportunity that's supposed to be ultra safe, it has to contain a lot of US stock. Yeah. Anyways, so that's the news. The most important news is the exchange rate, and which we believe will continue to worsen for yen, meaning your whatever your currency is, whether it's dollar, or I don't know what the currency in Germany is. What's the currency in Germany? What's INR?
Euro. It is euro.
Euro. Okay, yeah. We do believe euro will get stronger compared to yen going forward. All right, that's the first item. Let's head to the next. So last weekend, we explored a very interesting and underrated spot that I think people will love to visit this summer, and is close to Mount Fuji. So last weekend we went to a lake, a very small lake, but very beautiful. It's called Shibireko. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen my stories on Shibireko. I will post more photos and guides on how to get there. But this is a destination that I believe people would love to visit. It's a summer destination, but also they have very beautiful autumn foliage. These are some of the photos I took when I was there. And you can stay at this inn called Suimeiso. They have tatami rooms for I think it fit maybe like 30 people. There's like swan boat. It's Yurukyang. If you've seen Yurukyang,
Yeah, the very famous popular animation.
yeah, it's one of the locations of Yurukyang. And you can have breakfast. If you stay overnight, you can have breakfast in the terrace with the view of the pond, or view of the lake. It's beautiful. Of course, you can go swimming. Here's some photos of us swimming. So that's what it looks like. The lake. You can go camping here. Yes, you can camp here. That's what it's like in the autumn. We're gonna head back maybe the first or second week of November. November, it looks like this. Yeah, you can go swimming. It's really cool. Yeah, there are actually not many places where you can go swimming where it's actually deep because of safety concerns in Japan. If you visit the other major lakes of Fuji, right, chances are they'll have signs saying you're not allowed to swim. Yeah, that's for safety concerns. But here, you can swim as much as you want. And there's a canoe. There's a sup, stand-up paddle. It's very beautiful. I highly recommend this destination if you're visiting Japan, or if you live in Japan and you want to do like a summer or autumn trip where you want to go swimming in the lakes. And there are hikes that you can attempt from here that gives you great views of Mount Fuji as well. And because it's in the middle of nowhere, it's really hard to get here by public transportation. I've been here 3 times, and every time what I did was we got a car and we drove through this highway connecting Tokyo and Yamanashi. Yep, it's about 3 hours from Tokyo. So you can do it for a day trip, but I recommend staying overnight. Cool. So that is a destination that I recommend people to visit.
It is a hidden holiday destination. Absolutely, there are no foreign people there. So yeah, it's a good place.
Yeah, it's honestly like this is one of those hidden gems. Yeah, you won't find any foreigner here. Okay, so next one on our agenda is right. Let's go to this screen. Is food. We're going to introduce a Japanese food that you can find in convenience store. That is delicious and cheap with lots of history. This. Yes. Tuna mayo. It doesn't have to be tuna mayo. Onigiri. So onigiri is shaped like a mountain or a triangle. There's a reason why it's shaped triangle like a mountain. You see that? If you guys been to Japan and you go to like a convenience store, you'll realize that some of them are round, but a lot of them are triangle, and there's a reason for it. And the reason is, let me just show you guys the reason. So that is the reason, right? It's the shape of a mountain. Basically, onigiri are shaped like a mountain to represent a mountain. And mountains in Japan, they represent deities. So when you say deities, what I mean is I mean gods, right? In Japan, because there are more than one god, we just call them deities. But basically, the concept is that a mountain is a physical manifestation of a god. So you worship it, right? And one of the ways to worship it is by shaping the food that you eat every day into the shape of a god. That's one way to worship the god, right?
There's a question from.
We got a question.
from
Okay.
maybe German.
Ah.
Why is it named onigiri?
Why is it
demon?
demon? Yeah, exactly. It is. You're right. Onigiri. So why is it?
Let me check.
He's gonna check. Right. Liu will check for us. All right. Let's see why. We'll go to the speaker view. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I actually have no idea either. Nigiri.
Onigiri is came from nigiri meshi.
Okay.
Yeah, nigiri meshi.
So, onigiri. So when we say onigiri, it's actually o and then nigiri as two different parts of a word. Where o means polite, right? It's like okasan. It's a polite way to say mother. Oba-chan is a polite way to say grandma, right? So onigiri is a polite way to say nigiri, right? And nigiri, it means to grasp. Nigiri means to use our hands and grasp something, right? And we make onigiri by molding it with our hands. So we're grasping the rice and turning it into a triangle. So it's a polite way to say nigiri. So nigiri means to mold it with your hand. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's onigiri, where the base of the word is nigiri. Makes sense. Awesome. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna eat this. We're gonna taste it. So these are packaged. When I first saw one of these, I had no idea how to open it. Right. So let me show you guys how to open this package. It's a very unique packaging that you won't find in any other food, even in Japan. So it's a 3-step. The first step is to pull down the top. So it's this plastic. It's already cut. Right, it's like that. You just pull this down, right, and you go all the way to the other side. All the way to the other side. You'll peel off like that. And then you got left and right side, right? You hold left and right, but what I do is I always hold firmly the one end, and then I just pull the other end. Just like that, it'll come off. And then do the same. Now I hold, now I'm just holding the seaweed. Right, I'm just holding the seaweed. And then I pull the other plastic, just like that. And now I got my onigiri. So why do we have this kind of packaging? It's because seaweed, when it touches the moist rice, the moisture will soften. Right? The moisture will transfer to the seaweed. And instead of having this very, I don't know, like a crunchy taste, crunchy texture, you'll have a very like a moist texture. So it's to keep the seaweed fresh. All right, and when we eat in Japan, we say itadakimasu to say thank you to the deities for providing us the food. I'm gonna try first, okay?
Yeah.
Itadakimasu. And by the way, my favorite is tuna mayo. So this is a tuna mayo flavor. And it's my favorite. Itadakimasu. I always eat from the top. Very good. Oh. Yeah, these are very good.
Yeah.
There's a few times I had onigiri in Canada. Have you had the onigiri in the States when you visit?
Yeah, I have. I tried, but it was so expensive, almost $8, and
How did it taste?
taste was cheap.
It's bad. Like, how is it? What's the difference?
Rice was so sticky
No,
and very salty.
very salty, huh?
Yeah.
No, these are perfectly flavored. I mean, trying to get it to come on camera. Come on, camera. Oh, there you go. There you go. It's perfectly flavored. You can see like how each of the rice, right? They're not like too wet, they're not too soft, and they're not too hard. It's like a perfect. So like you can taste each of the rice. All right.
The 7-Eleven, one of the biggest
Oh, you're from
companies
7-Eleven. Yeah.
are producing onigiri more than 2 billion every year. It's quite huge.
Ah. Dangra says, I remember messing up the first time I bought it.
Ah, yeah.
Me too. Me too. No. Dude, did your parents teach you how to?
No, my parents prevent me to buying convenience store onigiri
Oh, really?
when I was a child because it contain a lot of chemicals.
Yeah, that is right. So the one thing about convenience store food in Japan is that they do contain a lot of preservatives, and Japan actually allows a lot more preservatives than most other countries, right? Last month I visited a local farmer who makes rice and organically, and he says how Japan, a lot of the farmers, the rice farmers, I mean, a lot of these this packaging as well, but a lot of the rice in Japan that are not made organically, they contain these pesticides that are supposedly illegal or banned in Europe or US. And because back then when Japan lost the war, right, Japan became a subordinate of United States. So whatever the United States made illegal, but they would have like lots of supply, or they want to make money, right? They still want to make money off their pesticide and other chemicals. So they would ship those pesticides and chemicals to Japan to sell in Japan, and basically say that every country has has like different food regulations, and Japan just are okay with these types of chemicals or pesticides. The Japanese government, they know that it's cancerous. Basically, if you have too much of those pesticides or chemicals, it's bad for your body. It'll cause cancer, basically. It's one of the reasons why Japan, we call it gan taikoku, right? Japan.
Yeah,
Gan taikoku.
Almost 50% of Japanese people get cancer.
Yeah.
Statistically.
Yeah, almost 50% of the population in Japan will end up getting cancer.
It's a huge number.
Yeah,
right.
That's a lot. Yeah.
How about Canada?
Canada, I don't have the data, but it's not 50%. It's not 50%. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's not 50% in Germany. Yeah. Actually, there was a data saying that Japan allows 10 times more types of food preservatives than US.
Really?
Yeah, 10 times more. Yeah. So, all the, like, say if US says, okay, we can have these 60 types of foods, like preservatives, whatever they are, in our food to keep them fresh, or, to help make the food last longer, then Japan has 10 times more. So like Japan will have 600 types of food preservatives. Yeah.
Japanese people tend to think in US more preservative is going to be used, but actually Japan is more.
Actually, Japan is more. Yeah, it's all propaganda. Yeah. Anyways, so that is the food introduction. So yeah, we love onigiri. We love the convenience store onigiri, but we try not to have too much of them because we know that they're actually not too good for your body if you have too much. All right, the last item on our agenda is a Japanese phrase that we're going to teach you that's not on the textbook, but you hear it a lot when you actually are in Japan because locals will actually use them because they're like, practical, highly practical Japanese, not on the textbook. And the one today that we're going to teach you is
行けたら行く。
はい、行けたら行く。So, 行けたら it means if I can go. 行く means I will go. Basically, if I'm available to go, I will go. So that, like, what does that mean, right? That actually means I'm not going. You guys have heard, how Japan, in Japan we can't say no because if we say no, it's rude, right? So if someone asks us, right? Say someone asks us, "Oh, are you guys free for barbecue next weekend? 来週バーベキュー行きますか?" And I said, "Yeah, 行かないっすね。空いてないっすね." Then it's as if I'm turning him down, so I'm like, I'm being rude. So instead I say, 行けたら行きますね. It means if I can adjust my schedule, make it work, then I'll go. Yeah, but it actually means no, I'm not going. Yeah, it's a way to say no without saying no. It's like a soft no. Let me show you guys. So this is it. 行けたら行くわ. So let's see. There. 行けたら行くわ. So this word, it means to go somewhere, right? 行く means I'll go. So 行けたら means if I can go, I will go. But that actually means I'm not going. It actually means no, I'm not going. Let's see if is there one. Yeah, it's like this. 行けたら行く, but so you can tell he's probably not leaving his house. He's not leaving his house, right? If I can go, I'll go. No, I don't think you can go anywhere in that situation yet. If I can go, I will go. Yeah. So yeah, that's a very useful Japanese. And why am I teaching you guys this? Because when I first landed in Japan back in 2014, right, I would organize barbecues. All right, every weekend I would organize barbecues, and I would invite my Japanese coworkers. I used to work in Mie as a civil servant, and everyone around me in my office, they're mostly locals. Right, so I tell them, 今週バーベキューしますよ。遊びに来てください. Like, I'm doing a barbecue this weekend. You're invited. And they'll tell me, barbecue. いいね。行けたら行くわ. So like, they don't want to say, no, I'm not going to your barbecue. Who are you? I don't want to go to your barbecue. They don't want to say that, right? Because I'm a coworker, right? They want to keep that employee relationship. But they told they told me 行けたら行くわ. I'll go to your barbecue if I can go. I'm like, oh yeah, of course you can go, right? Like of course, yeah, arigato. Yeah, you're coming. Okay, let me put you down as you're coming. It's probably maybe like I would think maybe 80% chance that they can come, but in reality, so I think this is a data that's by research, right? Like the Kyam, this is a magazine, right? That probably took some samples around, how many, what percent when they say 行けたら行く, do they actually mean they'll go compared to they mean not? I'm probably not gonna go. So this 70% is 多分来ない. This 75% means they're probably not coming. They're probably not going, right? And this 22% is the proportion that's, yeah, there's a chance that they will show up. There's a chance of showing up. And then only 3%, when someone tells you 行けたら行く, I'll go if I can, only 3% will actually show up. Yeah. So I would prepare my barbecue expecting 10 people to show up, and I would end up getting 3. Like, I bought all this food and drinks. How am I gonna finish it? So yeah, it's It's one of my first memories of a Japanese that I learned in school from textbook. That actually was not how it's used in real life. Yeah, basically textbook Japanese being my demise.
Actually, I'm 3% guy.
The 3%, yeah.
I always saying iketara but I sometimes show up.
Yeah.
The reason why is that I don't want to make my schedule locked.
Yeah.
I want to keep flexibility. So at the date of barbecue, if I feel I want to go, I will go. And
Okay.
if I feel sleepy or going to another, I want to meet another friend, I don't go.
Yeah. I rarely use iketara ikura myself because being a foreigner, I'm okay. I'm allowed to say no. I'm not going to your party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yep. So that is the Japanese lesson of the day. So for example, right? You're visiting Japan. You made a friend in a bar, right? You went to like a local pub, and then you became a friend with a local, and they're inviting you to say, okay, tomorrow night, why don't you come to my house for sushi, but for hand roll sushi, but you actually have other things, or like you have plans, you already have something tomorrow night, or you just think maybe I'm not sure if I want to actually go to his house, right? Then instead of saying no, I'm not going to your house, you can say iketara ikimasu, to politely decline. Yeah, and because there is a chance that you will actually show up, you're not actually saying no, right? But they will expect you to not show up, so it won't get their hopes up. And if you do show, and then you do show up, they'll be happy to see you. Yeah, cool. So that is the Japanese lesson of the day. Let's see. I'm listening to this while sitting in Tokyo. Ah, you're in Tokyo. Nice, very nice. Do you live in Tokyo? Are you just here on a
Staying
trip
in Tokyo.
or working in Tokyo? I love this. I love this. Oh, you're nice. Working, cool, awesome. So are you also learning Japanese? I love this Saitama, because like, did you watch One Punch Man? One Punch Man.
Yeah, I know.
You did it, yeah. Yeah. So Saitama is one of those guys who don't read between the lines. Or, he's not like a true Japanese person who cares about his image, public view, public perception. He doesn't care about any of those, right? So so when someone asks him if you want to come to my party, he's saying, "俺はいいわ。めんどくせえから." I'm okay. I'm okay.
It might be too troublesome.
It's like tiring. Like
Tiring.
I don't want to be tired with going to whatever your party is. Yeah. Kind of learning. Nice. Yeah, anyway, so we're gonna be live streaming, hopefully, several times a week. But for now, we're aiming, maybe like once a week or more, twice or 3 times. Yeah, and each time, we'll share some like important news, we'll give our thoughts on the local news. We'll show one interesting travel destination. We'll talk about one food, one very affordable that you can find in Japan, like a food, and maybe some history and background on that food. And then finally, a Japanese phrase that is highly practical. All right. So this was our first take, the first take. Yeah, and so yeah, it's very encouraging that we do have an audience, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Dangra. Thank you.
Message me.
Yeah,
Message us.
thank you very much, Dangra, for keeping our stream engaging. Thank you. I'm the guy who takes on Instagram. Oh, right.
Cool.
I remember. Yeah, we chat a lot. Like, I think like 6 months ago, we used to chat a lot. And then, yeah, I remember. I remember that tag. I remember that name. Yeah. Cool, man. I hope to see you again, then. I hope to see you next time we go streaming. I think next time I might announce it ahead of time. I'm not sure. Today, this was the first time, so we didn't want to, announce it, have like more people show up, but then the stream not working. So, anyways, cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That was a good 1 hour stream, and I hope to see you again. Maybe I'll call you Germaving Smoke 66. Germavin Smoke. Bean Smoke. Is that from One Piece? Bean Smoke. Is that from One Piece? Sanji? I remember it's like Sanji is like something like Bean Smoke. Where is that from? Yeah, it is from One Piece, right? It is from One Piece. Sanji's family. Bean Smoke. Awesome.
Cool.
See, I watch anime. I learned. Yeah, back in the days when I was learning Japanese, I did watch a lot of One Piece. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys. Hope to see you again. And that is it for today. Bye-bye.
Bye.